In the book of John, chapter 4, Jesus is speaking to the woman at the well, and he says in verse 24, God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. This is a cartoon that I cut out of a newspaper. It's Family Circus. And in this picture you see that the dad is laying on the ground kind of playing with his kids there, and his kids are all gathered around trying to lift him up off the floor. They're sweating and obviously working very hard, and they're unable to lift him because of his weight. The caption reads, "Come on, Daddy, we can't do this all by ourselves. You gotta help us lift you." And when I saw this, I guess it pictured for me in my mind the need of us as Christians, as God's children, the need of God to work within us and through us to be able to worship him and to lift him up. And what I mean by that is that in and of ourselves, of our own strength, we are like these little children here. We do not have the ability in and of ourselves to truly lift God up and worship him in the way that he desires to be worshiped. And what we need is for him to help us. Just as the children in this picture need the help of their daddy, they need his empowerment to be able to lift him. And notice here also that these kids are all working together for a common goal, yet they are unable to achieve that goal without the Father's help. You know, for us as Christians, it's the same. We can form organizations, and we should form organizations, and all types of different Christian organizations, organizations that help people, organizations that preach the gospel. The church is an organization. You know, all these things are good. Yet without God's help, we are like these little children trying to lift the Father in vain. We just don't have the power to do it. Jesus told the woman at the well that they that worship God must worship him in spirit and in truth. This is the hour, Jesus says in verse 23 says, "But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him." These children here represent, in my mind, how true worshipers. They want to lift God up, but they are also acknowledging to God at the same time that they cannot do it in and of themselves. They need his power to do that. And I think this is a good picture of what we ought to be like as followers of Jesus Christ, as believers, as children of God. We ought to be like these children, also saying to our Father, "Come on, Daddy, we can't do this by ourselves. You got to help us lift you." So it's just a few thoughts that came into my mind as I saw this, and I wanted to share that with my fellow Christians out there. Thanks a lot.